Hi everyone. Today's class is the first class in a series of classes that I've designed with the beginner yogi in mind. However, this doesn't mean that these classes are going to be super easy. It just means that they're meant to teach some of the yoga basics, yoga foundations, that can then be taken to any other yoga class, and you'll know that you're practicing yoga in a safe way and in a way where you're going to get the most out of your practice. And I'm also hoping that these classes can be useful for more advanced yogis as well, where they can come and refresh their knowledge of some of these basics, and as well as maybe learn a thing or two along the way. So today's class in particular is going to focus more on our hips, our pelvis, and where this whole area should be in space in various different yoga asanas, yoga poses, yoga movements. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's not talk anymore. Let's do some yoga. For today's class, we are going to need one block. You might not end up using it, but make sure you have a block close by. You can just place it by your mat. Or if you don't have a block, you can grab a couple of books, or really anything that's about this shape and, more importantly, this height. So you might need a couple of books to stack on top of each other. So grab that. And then make your way down onto your back. So we're going to start today's class on our backs. So once you're there, find a nice comfortable position where you can spend a few minutes, couple of minutes, so you don't have to move. If you have any lower back issues, or maybe your lower back is just not feeling great today, feel free to have your knees bent. Bring your feet about mat width apart and then allow your knees to come together. Otherwise, come to Shavasana, to corpse pose. Extend your legs down onto the floor. And then find a nice comfortable position where you can completely relax. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Feel all the weight of the world just disappearing. Your body sinking down into the mat. Gently close your eyes. And start bringing your attention inwards. So see if you can let go of the external world. Try to ignore any sounds or anything that you might be noticing around you. And instead, start bringing your attention and your focus onto your body, your breath, and your mind. And we'll start with the mind first. So take a moment just to notice what's going on in your head, and notice if there are a lot of thoughts floating in. Or maybe your mind is nice and peaceful, nice and quiet. And if you've noticed thoughts coming in, just acknowledge that they exist. This is completely normal. You're constantly thinking all day long. But try not to get involved with those thoughts. Don't explore them. Don't try to solve any problems. Just allow them to pass by. Leave them for later. And instead, bring your focus onto your breath. So we're just going to observe our breathing for the next couple of rounds. Just notice if your breathing is deep or shallow. Notice if it's fast or slow. And notice where the air is traveling. Are you breathing with your upper chest? Or is your whole torso involved in the breathing? For now, don't change anything, just observe. And now bring your attention to your belly and consciously allow it to relax. we typically walk around holding our bellies in, I want you to fully relax your belly and allow it to move with your breath. So as you inhale, you should feel your belly moving, expanding, rising. And as you exhale, you'll feel it coming back towards your spine, falling down towards the floor. So the next inhale, taking in as much air as you can, filling up your belly. So belly is relaxed, it's rising, it's lifting, filling with the air. And exhale gently, feel it falling down towards the spine. Now it may help you to place one or both of your hands on top of the belly. And as you inhale again, think of pushing your hands in, pushing the belly into your hands, lifting the hands with your belly. And then exhale, your hands are gently going to fall as the belly falls. Again, inhale into your belly, into your hands. And exhale, allow it to come back. 2 more times like that, deep belly breaths, inhale. And gently exhale. One last time, inhale. This is called full belly breath or yogi breathing. And exhale gently. And now place your arms down by the sides if they were on your belly. And now let go of controlling your breath and just notice if your natural breathing has changed at all. Maybe it's now a little bit deeper, a little bit slower. And now take your hands, bring them together, bring the palms together, and then start rubbing your palms against each other. Creating some friction, creating some heat here, rub, rub, rub. And once you feel your palms are nice and warm, place them on top of your eyes. So cup your eyes with your palms. And then gently start blinking your eyes open. And bring your arms back down by your sides. Good. So start by bending the knees gently. And then bring both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around them. Then you can start rocking side to side gently. Massaging the lower back here a little bit. Good, and then place the knees back down onto the floor. Extend the arms to the sides. The palms are facing down, or you can bend the elbows, and then the palms will be facing up. And from here, with an exhale, we're going to drop the knees over towards the left. So knees are dropping. Try to keep both shoulder blades on the floor. And you can look over towards the right. Adding a little bit of a twist to the cervical spine as well, to our neck. And then inhale, bring the knees to center. And then exhale over, bring the knees over towards the right, and then maybe your gaze goes over towards the left. Left shoulder blade is still on the floor. If it lifts, that's fine, but just try to think of bringing it closer towards the ground. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. And then lift your feet again, bring the knees into your chest, wrap the arms around. And again, maybe rock side to side gently. Okay. Now we're going to place the feet back down on the floor and just leave them wherever they fall. I just want you to make sure that your feet are hip width apart, they're parallel to each other, toes are pointing forward, but it doesn't matter how close your heels are towards your sit bones, to your glutes. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the alignment here. So lift up your head And make sure, extend the lengthen the back of the neck, and then place the back of the skull back on the floor. And then pick up your chest, bring your shoulder blades under your back, and place your back down on the ground. Extend the arms down. And then lift the hips. And then we're going to lengthen the tailbone towards the feet and place the hips back down. And actually, let's play here a little bit. So this is close to the optimal position for our hips, but I want you to feel the two extremes in between which we need to find this middle ground, this optimal position. So first, arch your lower back. So allow the tailbone to almost kind of move back towards your head and create the big space here in your lumbar spine. So this is anterior tilting the pelvis. And then we're going to flip the other way. So pointing the tailbone almost up towards the ceiling as much as you can without lifting the hips up. But your pelvis is going to turn, posterior tilt of the pelvis, and you'll feel the low back really pushing into the floor. And then again, turn the other way. Lift the low back off the ground. The tailbone's pointing back towards the head. And then we'll switch, pushing the tailbone towards the ceiling, almost pushing the lower back into the floor. So those are the two extremes. And now we want to find the middle ground. We want to find a position in the middle. So that's why by lifting the pelvis, sending the tailbone towards the feet and then placing it down is almost getting there. And then place your hands so that your palms are touching your hip bones. So those two bones that are sticking out on your hips. So place the palms there, and then your fingers will meet together on top of your pubic bone. And you're almost creating this triangle with your hands. You want that triangle to be in a nice, even plane. So you want your fingers and your palms to be in the same line, in the same plane here. And once you achieve that, think of bringing all that body, so everything that's in between your hands inside of the triangle together. So you're squeezing your lower abdominal muscles, engaging them to kind of try to bring all this area together. And you want to keep that engagement of your lower abs pretty much to the whole practice. It helps to keep the pelvis in its neutral position. It's also helping with the lower back as well. Okay, so now once you found this, we're going to place the hands down by the sides, keep this engagement. So keep thinking of squeezing this area together and keep the pelvis neutral. Good. Inhale here. With an exhale, push into your heels, lift the hips off the floor, coming into a bridge, but we're coming into a low bridge. So you don't have to come too high, but I want you to start engaging your glutes here. You can even touch them here, poke them to make sure that they're working, especially this area in the bottom, so in between our glutes and our hamstrings. That area should be working. Good. Another inhale here, and exhale, gently place the hips back down. Okay. We're going to do it again. With an exhale, push into your heels, lift the hips. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower the hips down. Good. And again, inhale here, exhale, lift the hips up. We're going to add a little bit to this. Next, inhale, lift the left heel off the floor, just the heel, the ball of the foot is on the ground. Then place the heel down, inhale here, exhale, lower the hips down. Inhale, once they touch the ground, exhale, lift the hips up. Inhale, lift the right heel off the floor. Place it back down with an exhale. Another inhale here, exhale to lower. Adding even more to this. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips. Next, inhale, so you can either lift the heel like we just did, or lift the whole foot. Bring the knee above the hip, your left knee above the hip. Place the left foot down. Exhale, hips go down. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hips up. Next, inhale, lift just the right heel or the whole right foot, bringing the knee above the hip. Place the foot down. Exhale, place the hips down. One more time like this. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, left foot lifts, left leg lifts. Exhale, lower. Inhale to hold. Exhale, lower the hips down. One last time. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, place it down. Inhale to hold. Exhale, lower. Good. And now bring your hands behind your neck, interlace the fingers, and point the elbows up towards the ceiling. We're going to wake up our core now. Inhale here, exhale, lift your head and your shoulder blades off the floor, but don't crunch, don't pull with your head forward. Try to push your head into your hands, but at the same time lift. Squeezing the abs here, so you want your abdominal muscles to stay flat. You don't want them to pop up. Keeping that lower ab area engaged like we set it up previously. One more inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, lower the head down. Exhale, lift the head up. Inhale, lower it down. One more time. Exhale, head lifts and the shoulders. And inhale, place it down. Adding on. Exhale, lift your head up. Lift the left heel just to hover toes. The ball of the foot is on the floor. Place the heel down. Inhale, place the head down. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders up. Inhale, right heel lifts. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lower your head down. Exhale, the head and the shoulders lift. Inhale, left heel lifts. Exhale, left heel lowers. Inhale, head lowers. Exhale, lift the head and the shoulders. Inhale, lift the right heel. Place the right heel down. Inhale, head goes down. Out, adding more. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lift the left foot up or just the heel. Bring the knee above the hip. The foot goes down. Inhale, head goes down. Exhale, lift the head up. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot goes down. Inhale, head goes down. One more time. Exhale to lift. This time, lift both feet off the floor. Knees come above the hips. Feet touch the floor. Inhale, head goes down. Release your hands. Bring the knees into your chest one more time. You can wrap your arms around, maybe rock side to side. Good, and now extend your right arm up above the head. You're going to roll over onto the right side. Pause here for a moment. And then when you're ready, push your left hand into the floor and rise up. You're going to come into a seated position. So here we're going to find Sukhasana, or easy seated pose. You can either cross your shins here, or you can stack your heels in front of each other. Now, ideally, we want our hips here to be above the knees. So if you're noticing your knees are coming up too high, take your block, place the block underneath your sit bones, and then sit like this. This is going to help to find length so we can keep our spine nice and long. We want ideally to have the crown of the head above the shoulders or above the hips, so one nice straight line with our body. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, bring the arms up to the shoulder level. Exhale, flip the palms away from you. Round the upper back, bring the chin to chest. Feel the stretch in between the shoulder blades. Push that space in between the shoulder blades back behind you as the arms are reaching forward. Good. Next, inhale, bring the arms up, lower the shoulders. Reach the arms tall. Try to bring your pinky fingers towards the ground, and then bring the floating ribs in. So if you're noticing your chest is popping up, it's pushing forward, engage your core so that you bring your lowest floating ribs in. It's almost like you're trying to bring them together with your hip bones. One more inhale here. And then with an exhale, float the right fingertips towards the floor. Inhale to lengthen the left arm up. Exhale, we're going to bend towards the right. So reach the left fingertips to the right. Allow the shoulder to relax, your left shoulder. You can bend into your right elbow, but keep the opening across the chest here. Keep reaching with the left fingertips. At the same time, keep pushing your left sit bone into the mat or the block. You should feel a nice stretch on the left side of the body. Good. Inhale, rise up. Now reach both sets of the fingers towards the floor. Inhale, exhale, lower the right ear towards the right shoulder. Then you can also take your right hand, place it on top of the head. Don't push your head down, but just placing the hand there will encourage the head to maybe the ear to come a little bit closer to the shoulder so you feel a nice stretch on the left side of your neck. Inhale, bring the head up, and then bring the hands in front of you. Walk them forward, but I want you to keep the sit bones pushing into a block or the floor. Pushing your hands into the ground and pushing yourself back will help with this. So keep doing that as you're lowering forward and lower as much as feels good. So if you're in a block, I really want you to keep pushing the hands into the floor, sending the sit bones back. Good. And inhale, gently walk the hands back up and come back to seated. And now let's switch the cross of our legs. So make sure to bring the other foot forward, other leg forward. Good, and find your nice long spine again. Interlace the fingers, but this time interlace them in a way that feels awkward. So it's going to be the other pinky is going to come in the bottom than you had previously. And then inhale again, bring the arms up to about the shoulder level. Flip the palms away, exhale, round the upper back, chin comes to chest. Inhale, bringing the arms up. Palms facing the ceiling, low ribs are in. Good. And exhale, float your left fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, bring it over towards the left, finding a nice deep opening in the right side of the body. Feel those intercostal muscles, the muscles in between your ribs, stretching here. Good. And inhale, lifting back up, reaching both sets of the fingers down. Inhale here, exhale, left ear comes towards the left shoulder. Then again, you can take your left hand, place it on top of your head. A little bit more encouragement. Good. Let go of your head. Inhale, lift the head up. And now bring your hands in front of you. Exhale, keep pushing your sit bones into the floor. Walk your hands forward. Come into a forward fold. Back of the neck is nice and long. Good. And inhale, gently walk the hands back and come up. Good. From here, lean forward, come onto your hands, move the block to the side. We won't use it for a little bit. And we're going to come into tabletop position. So in the tabletop, we want to have the wrists under the elbows, under the shoulders, and the knees are right underneath the hips. Okay. And then from here, again, let's do that anterior, posterior tilt of the pelvis. So if you anterior tilted, you're creating that arc in your lumbar spine. So you're tilting your tailbone up towards the ceiling here. And then posterior with an exhale, tilt your tailbone down towards the floor as much as you can. And again, inhale, tailbone goes up. Exhale, it goes down. So only the hips are moving here, nothing else. And now try to find that middle ground, that position. So engaging the lower abdominal muscles here, trying to pull that area, that triangle created, if we were to place our hands on the pelvis, that little triangle, we want to squeeze it together. And also that triangle needs to be in the same plane. So see if you can find a nice level pelvic position here. But once you have it, keep that. And the only thing that's going to change, we're going to extend, let's start with the left. We're going to extend the left leg back, place the ball of the left foot on the floor. Once there, with an exhale, push your left heel back. So you're going to lean back slightly. This is going to create a stretch in your foot, bottom of your foot, but also your calf muscles, maybe even behind your knee. So the core is working here, it's engaged. And now gently come out of that stretch. We're going to add little pulses with our legs. So inhale, lift the leg up to about the hip level. Exhale, lower it down to hover off the floor. And inhale, lift the leg up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Lower, 2 more. Up. Lower. Last one, up. Lower. And then bring it up with an inhale and stay there. So you really want to flex the left foot. The toes are pointing down. Heel is reaching back. And then come onto the tips of the fingers of your right hand. Good. And stay here. Breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, place your whole right hand down and your left knee comes down. And we'll switch sides. So let's extend the right leg back, keeping the ball of the right foot down on the floor. Inhale here, exhale, lean back into that heel. Just really push the heel back. This feels good. You shouldn't feel any pain. It should feel good. Nice stretch the back of the leg. Good. And now inhale, come back to neutral. Let's add the pulses. Next, inhale, lift the leg up. Exhale, lower to hover. Your right glute is working here. Inhale up, it's lifting and lowering your leg. Exhale, hover. Inhale up. Down, 2 more. Up. Down. Last one, up. Down. And then lift your leg up, hold. Coming to the tips of the fingers of the left hand. Hold and breathe. And with an exhale, hand comes down and your knee comes down. This time, bring your knees together, your feet together, tuck the toes under, and then walk the hands back towards your knees. You want to make sure that all 10 of your toes are tucked under. And now walk your hands on top of your thighs and have your hips above your heels, on top of your heels. Now, if this is too intense for your feet, which if it's not, it will get, you feel free to lean forward. Feel free to lean forward at any point when you need to. We're going to add some wrist stretches here. So bend your right arm, bend your right elbow, and then point the right fingers down towards the floor. You're going to place the left hand so that you can push your right fingers towards you with your left hand here. And you'll feel a nice stretch here in your right forearm. So breathe into that stretch. Good, and then switch sides. So bending the left elbow, pointing the fingers down, and then pulling them back towards you with your right hand. Good, and let that go. Let's do a few wrist circles here, moving the wrists in one direction, and then the other. And then finally placing the hands down, untucking your toes. Maybe hitting them a few times against your mat. Getting some blood to flow through your toes again. Good. And from here, we're going to tuck the toes again. Push into your hands and your feet, lift the knees, and walk your hands back towards your feet. So we're going to end up at the back of the mat. Move your feet so they're directly under your hips, so feet are about hip width apart. Generous bend in your knees, and then relax your head. Let your torso, your head go. Your belly is resting on top of your thighs. And then you can place your hands down. You can let your arms dangle, or you can grab opposite elbows here. And then you can stay here or add a little sway side to side. Good, and then release your elbows if you were holding them. Bring your hands to your waist. Elbows are pointing straight up. Engage your core and your legs. With an inhale, we're going to keep the back straight and rise all the way up until you're back to standing. but we're going to keep rising. So inhale, lift the arms up, come up onto tips of your toes, reach up high, high, high. Try to keep your heels as high up as you can as we walk towards the front of the mat. So let's step the right foot forward, and then the left, right again, and left, and bring the right to meet the left. Keep reaching, keep growing. One more inhale. And exhale slowly. Bring your arms down, bring your heels down. And we're going to come here into Tadasana. So let's talk about our pelvis positioning in Tadasana. Tadasana is one of the foundational yoga poses. It's also called a mountain pose. And a lot of our movement starts from this pose. So we really want to have a good foundation for Tadasana so that we can carry that good engagement into the rest of the practice. So wherever we move from Tadasana. I like to have my feet hip-width apart in Tadasana. If it feels better for you to have your feet together, then you can bring them together so that your big toes are touching, but there's just a little bit of space, maybe an inch or so space in between your heels. Otherwise, the feet are about hip-width apart. And then let's focus on the pelvis, and let's do that anterior-posterior tilt again here. So tilt the pelvis so the tailbone is shooting back behind you. See the nice big arch in my low back? We don't want that. We don't ever want to have the arch that exposes when we are standing or moving, or that exaggerated. And then tilt the pelvis the other way, tilt it forward, so you're almost like pushing your pubic bone, your hips forward. And then again, tilting the tailbone back, forward, back. And now let's find a middle ground. Find that space. That position where, again, that little triangle with our hands is in one plane. And engage the lower abdominal muscles. Good. And that's where you should keep your pelvis now. The shoulders are open, the chest is open, the shoulders are open, and relax your arms. Tadasana. So let's move from here. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bend in the knees and the hips. Reach your arms forward as the hips go back. Keep reaching, nice long back. Exhale, bring your hands down onto the floor. Uttanasana, forward fold. Now we're going to keep the left foot where it is. Bring your right foot back, and then the right knee will come onto the floor. Find a nice length in the spine here. Start engaging your right glute and then walking your hands up onto your left knee as you're lifting your torso. Let's find that neutral pelvis here as well. So notice if you can exaggerate that curve in your lower back and then push your pelvis forward and then find a middle in between. So you want to have nice natural curve in your spine, but your head and your hips and shoulders are all aligned. Then once there, you can keep your hands at your waist, but if you want to try extending your arms up, you can do that as well. So if there are no any shoulder issues, feel free to reach the arms up. The biceps are in line with your ears, and again, your floating ribs are not shooting forward. They're nice in line with your hips. Low lunge. Your back toes can be tucked, or you can place the top of the foot down. One more inhale here. Exhale, start reaching forward with your fingers. Again, finding length in that spine. Exhale, place your right hand under your right shoulder. Left hand will come behind your neck. Push the head into your hand, into your left hand. And with an exhale, we are going to open the chest to the side. So twisting towards the left here. Good, one more inhale. Now we're going to move into a modified side plank. So you want to make sure that your right knee is right under your right hip. Pivot the right foot over to the side just slightly. And then extend the left leg back behind you so that the left foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Chest is open. You're not sinking into your bottom shoulder, you're pulling out of it. And if you want to add a little bit more, you can lift the left leg up. So the left heel will be in line with the left hip, the left foot is flexed, and your heel's reaching back behind you, excuse me. One more breath here. Exhale, place your left hand on the floor. Keep your left leg lifted and come back to that tabletop with the left leg lifted. So find that position of the pelvis again. Engage the core. Really push the heel back behind you. And we're going to add some tricep dips here. So inhale here with an exhale. Bend your elbows. Shoot them back behind you. At the same time, lift the leg up. Squeeze the left glute to help you lift the leg. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. And up. Lower. Up. Let's do one more time. I lost the count. And up. From here, place the knee down. Tuck the toes under. Push into your hands and your feet. Lift the knees. And then walk your feet to your hands. Coming back into that forward fold. Relax your neck, your head. And let's switch sides. So the right foot staying where it is. Stepping the left foot back. Place the left knee down. Now find the length in the spine, and then start walking the hands above your right knee. Lift the torso up. Spend a moment here to find that neutral pelvis here. And once you have it, if you want, extend your arms up. Low lunge. Good. Another inhale to lengthen. Exhale, start reaching forward, leaning forward. And then place your left hand under the left shoulder. Right hand comes behind the neck. Push the head into your hand. Inhale here. Exhale, open the chest towards the right knee. Coming into a twist. So your gaze can be forward. You can look down. You can look up too if your neck is okay, but it's not necessary. Good. And let's move now into the modified side plank. So bring your foot over to the side, and we're only bringing it there to help us with the balance. And then extend the right leg back towards the back of the mat. Good. You can stay here or lift the leg up in line with your hip. Breathe, hold, chest is open, you're pushing out of that shoulder. And exhale, bring your right hand back onto the floor under your right shoulder. You're keeping your right leg lifted. If you need to adjust, please adjust. Find your neutral pelvis. Exhale, bending the elbows, they're coming straight back behind you. Lift the leg up lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Lower. Two more. Up. Lower. Last one. Up. Lower. Come back up. And then place the knee down. Tuck the toes under. Lift the knees off the floor. Walk the feet towards your hands. And we're back in Uttanasana. Deep bend in the knees here. Relax the head. Hands come to your waist, elbows are pointing up. Engage the legs in the core. Inhale, flat back, rise all the way up. Good. And exhale, release the arms. We're back in Tadasana. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Feel free to close your eyes. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat here. Maybe you can feel your breath. Try to calm down your breathing if you notice that your heart's beating a little bit faster than normal. Good, and then if your eyes were closed, you can open them. And then we'll add a bit to the sequence that we just did. So we'll start the same. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bend your knees and your hips. Start hinging forward, reaching long back here. Hands come down towards the floor. Now your left foot will stay where it is, as it did before. Press the whole palms into the ground. We're going to lift the right leg and bring it up until your right heel is in line with the hip. Again, squared hips here. So neutral pelvis. You can relax your head. But really push back with that right heel. Your left knee is bent. Good. One more breath. And then we're going to step the ball of the right foot far back on the floor. Good. So the heel is right above the ball of the foot. Your left knee is right above the ankle. Good. Start engaging your core and engaging your legs. So I like to say here to think of your legs as scissors. And you want to close the scissors. So you want to bring your inner thighs together. Now they're not going to move, but that engagement will help lift you here and help you stay balanced and stable. So we're going to come onto the tips of the fingers first, start engaging your legs and your core, and then inhale, reach the arms forward. You're going to come to a 45-degree angle. Option is to have your hands at your waist if you have any shoulder issues. Otherwise, reach forward, keep lengthening the spine, holding. One more inhale. Exhale, place your right hand under the right shoulder on the floor. Or a block. You can grab a block and place the hand on the block. Left hand comes behind your head. Exhale, twist again. So opening the chest to the left, and then you can reach your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Keep the right glute engaged. It's going to help you keep the hips lifted so that you don't sag down. So you want your hips lifted here. Everything's reaching up. One more inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot and start walking your hands towards the long edge of the mat. You're pivoting your feet as you go, and then your feet are going to end up being parallel to each other. You're going to walk the hands towards the left foot, bend into your left knee. Now we'll flow here. So inhale, come through center. Exhale, bend into your, this is the left foot, left knee. Inhale through center, exhale, bend the right knee. Good. Inhale, center, exhale, bend into the left. Inhale, center, exhale, bend into the right. Center, one more time, bend into the left. Come through center, and then right. These are called side lunges. Come through center. Then bring your hands over by your left foot, bend into your left knee. We're going to hold here, so send your left thigh bone into the hip. So send it back and find length in the spine and opening across the chest here. One more breath. Keep walking the hands now towards the front of the mat. Pivot the feet as you go until you're back in those lunge feet. Keep the right hand down under the right shoulder. Come back into the twist. So lift the left arm up. Now we're going to move into the side plank or full side plank or modified. So either what we did earlier, bringing the knee down, bringing the leg back, or come to the outside edge of the right foot and then bring the left foot on top or in front of the right. You want the right wrist to be right under the shoulder. You're lifting the hips up. Turn the palm towards the front and then reach your right fingertips forward as well. Now find a nice stretch in the side body again here. One more breath. Exhale, place your left hand down. Right knee comes down. Left leg is up. Tabletop again with the left leg lifted. Find your core engagement, your neutral hips. Push the heel back. Extend the leg. Now come back to the tips of the fingers of your right hand. We did this earlier. And then you can stay here, or to go a bit further, extend the right arm forward. Thumb is facing up. Shoulders pulling away from the ear. And exhale, bring your hand down. Inhale here. With an exhale, bring the knee as close into your chest as you can. Arch the upper back, push the hands into the floor, and then step the left foot anywhere it falls. From here, we're going to lift or tuck the right toes under. Walk the hands a little bit forward. The weight comes into the left foot, lift the right leg up. We were here earlier as well. Level the hips. Relax your head. Bend into your left knee. Good. And then slowly step your right foot under your right hip, and we're back in Uttanasana. Now let's do the other side. So the weight will stay in your right foot. Lift the left leg up. So hands are firmly on the floor. Generous bend in your right knee. Left leg is reaching back. Left heel is reaching back. And try to use that left glute to lift the leg to about hip level. Good. Now bend more into your right knee. Step the left foot far back. Start engaging your legs. Think of those scissors. Come into tips of the fingers and then reach the arms forward. Torso comes to about 45-degree angle. Okay. Don't forget about the back leg. It's strong and straight. I mean, you can have a bend in the knee. It doesn't have to be fully straight, but don't just forget about it. Fully engage those muscles. And exhale, place your left hand under the left shoulder. Right hand behind your head. Exhale, twist to the right. And then you can extend your right arm up. One more inhale to lengthen. Exhale, right hand comes to the inside of the right foot. Walk your hands towards the long edge of the mat. And you're back in the wide-legged forward fold. We're going to walk the hands towards the left foot, bend into the left knee. Same as the other side. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, bend into the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. And right. This time we're going to come through center. Bend into your left knee. Center. Bend into the right and hold. So sending the femur, thigh bone back. Lengthening the spine, opening the chest. Back of your neck, back of your head is long as well. Good. Now keep walking the hands towards the front and come back into that twist. So low lunge with a low twist. Left hand under the shoulder, inhale, lift the right arm up, twist. Now you know where we are going, side plank or modified. So either knee down, leg goes up, or come to the outside edge of the left foot, stack the right on top or in front, reach up, turn the palm to the front, and then reach the fingertips to the front as well. Good. Exhale, place your right hand down, left knee comes down, right leg stays up. Engage the core, level the hips, push the heel back. Come to the fingertips of the left hand. And then stay there or extend the left arm forward. The thumb is facing up. And one more breath. And exhale, place your hand down. Inhale here, exhale, bring the knee into your chest, push your hands into the floor, find space for your knee in your chest here, and then step the foot in between the hands. Walk the hands forward, tuck the left toes under. The weight will come into your right foot, lift the left leg up to about hip level. Bend in your right knee. And exhale, bring the left foot under the left hip. And we're back one last time in the forward fold Uttanasana. Good. From here, bend the knees, hands come firmly to the floor, step back, and then make your way all the way down onto your belly. So once there, make sure that the tops of your feet are pushing into the floor. Your feet are about hip width apart. You might need to bring them even wider if you feel any pinching in your low back. But we'll start with the about hip width apart. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Elbows are glued to your rib cage. With an inhale, push into your feet. The knees will lift. Inhale, lift the chest up, but don't push your hands into the floor. I want you to slide your hands back. So your mat is sticky, your hands are not going to move, but you're going to feel the engagement of the muscles in your shoulders as you do this, and they're going to help you lift. So keep here lifted breathing. And exhale, lower down. Good. Now bring your hands wider than the mat, and come to the tips of the fingers. These are called spider fingers. Inhale here with an exhale, lift up. This time you can push into the floor a little bit. And then exhale, bring the left shoulder towards the floor. Look over to the right. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, bring the right shoulder down. Look towards the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, left shoulder drops. Look to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. And center. This time lower slightly. Exhale, lift up, maybe lifting a little bit higher, maybe pushing a little bit more into the floor. Feel free to separate the feet more if you need to. One more inhale, and exhale to lower. Stack your forearms on top of each other, and then place your forehead on top of the hands. Good, and then let's all bend the knees. And drop your feet over towards the right. Then they'll come through center and drop them to the left. And center, and then right again. Center and left. Center. One more time each side. So this windshield viper motion that we're doing with our legs helps to alleviate any tension that we might have created in our low spine. And then gently bring the feet back down onto the floor. Bring the hands back under the shoulders. We're going to push into the floor. Lift up. Bring the knees together and the feet together. And place your hips on top of the heels. You're going to place the forehead on the floor. Or if it's a little too far, grab a block or books. Place the forehead on the block. And the arms will come down alongside your legs. So the hands are by your feet. And once there, relax the shoulders. So let the gravity pull them down towards the ground. And you'll feel a nice stretch, that spacing between the shoulders here. It should feel nice in your whole back. It's Balasana, child's pose. From here, we're going to bring your hands back under the shoulders and then gently push into the floor, lift the torso up. Bring your hips to either side, and then your legs will come forward and make your way to about the middle of the mat. And we're going to come down onto our backs. Okay. So we're going to close the class with a supine twist, a twist on our backs. Bend your knees, and then place the feet on the floor. Push the feet into the ground. Lift the hips, move them over towards the right couple of inches. We're going to extend the arms to the sides. The palms are facing down, or again, you can bend the elbows, have the palms face up. Lift the feet off the floor. And then with an exhale, bring the knees over towards the left. trying to keep the right shoulder down on the ground. If it lifts, it's fine again, but that's the direction that we want the shoulder to go into. And then you can also take your left hand, place it on top of your knee if you want a little bit more. You can take your block, place it under your bottom knee too, if you're feeling any discomfort. And then your head can turn to the right. And again, if you add a twist to your neck. If you have any neck issues, then keep your head looking straight up. And the next inhale, bring the knees to center. Place the feet down on the floor. Lift the hips. Move them to center and then over towards the left couple of inches. Then place them back down. Arms are still extended. Lift the feet up. Exhale, the knees come over towards the right. And again, you can gently press the right hand on top of the top knee. And turn the head to the left. Next inhale, bring the knees to center. Feet are on the floor. Lift the hips, bring them back in line with the rest of the body. And then lift the feet off the ground and bring them into your chest for asana. One more time, gas relieving pose. Again, you can add a little rock here, side to side. And when you're ready, we'll move into Shavasana. So again, for Shavasana, any low back issues, feel free to have the knees bent, bring the mat width apart, and the knees touch in the middle. Otherwise, actually, let's all bend the knees. Lift the hips, lengthen the tailbone towards your feet, and then place the hips back down. So neutral pelvis even in Shavasana. Extending the legs if there are no low back issues, and then allow the feet just to flop. So your feet are at least hip width apart, if not wider. Then lift the chest, bring the shoulder blades under your back, and then bring the back down on the ground. The palms will face up, and the arms are not flush with your body, so there's space under your armpits here. Then lift the head, lengthen the back of your neck, and then place the skull back down on the floor. And then gently close the eyes. Shavasana, or the corpse pose. Suppose that we come to at the end of each practice, and our body, this time is really important for our bodies to kind of go over our practice and solidify all the benefits of the practice. This few minutes of rest are really beneficial, so don't try to skip them. If you have time, please take this time. And you want to make sure that every muscle in the body is fully relaxed. And once you know that your body is relaxed, allow your mind to relax as well. And I'll bring you back in a couple of minutes. Slowly start deepening your breath. You can start adding little movement to your body. You can start wiggling your toes, your fingers. Maybe adding some wrist, some ankle rotation. And then when you're ready, extend the arms up above the head. Stretch out your whole body. So really reach the arms up and the heels back the other way. And then gently bend the knees. Place the feet on the floor and we are going to roll over onto the right side. Again, using the right bicep as a pillow here. Take a moment here in fetal position. And when you're ready, use your left hand to push into the floor and come up to seated, again, position, Sukhasana. Try to keep your eyes closed if you can. And I would like to close the class with 2 cleansing breaths. So if you'd like to join, inhale through your nose fully. And exhale, side out. One more time, inhale. Gently bring the hands to your heart center. Lower the chin towards your chest. Open the eyes. And raise your head. Thank you so much for taking the time for yourself and joining me in this practice today. Namaste.